If you have a shady spot in your garden, chances are you've got at least one hosta. I mean, they're the kings of the shade garden, right? Their foliage is just incredible. But these super resilient plants have one common problem. They grow a little too well. And today, we're gonna solve that.
Does this look a little familiar? Yeah, after a few years, that perfect little hosta you planted can turn into a giant behemoth, totally crowding out its neighbors. Now, it's a great sign. It means you've got a happy, healthy plant, but it's also a sign that it needs a little bit of our help.
But what if I told you that fixing this problem involves a special kind of math? This isn't your typical high school algebra. Nope, this is garden math. And in garden math, division doesn't mean getting less. It actually means you get to multiply what you already have. Pretty cool, right?
So let's walk through why a perfectly happy plant sometimes needs us to step in. I'm going to show you exactly how to fearlessly divide your hostas and turn that one giant plant into a bunch of healthy new ones.
I know what you're probably thinking. It looks so happy. Why on earth would I want to dig it up and disturb it? Well, believe it or not, there are two fantastic reasons, and they're a win-win for both the plant and for you.
Okay, so on the one hand, you've got an overcrowded hosta. What happens is the middle of the plant can actually start to die out, creating this kind of empty donut shape. All those dense leaves block airflow, which is like an open invitation for fungus. But on the other hand, look what happens after you divide it. The plant gets totally rejuvenated. Its roots finally have room to breathe, and that leads to all this vigorous, healthy new growth. And here it is. This is the best part. The real magic of garden math. One single mature clump of hosta can easily become 3, 5, heck, even 10 new plants. We're talking about the most budget-friendly way to fill up your garden with plants you already love.
All right, are you convinced? I thought so. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the when and the what. A tiny bit of prep is really all it takes to guarantee success.
You know, timing is pretty much key here. The absolute #1 best time is in the spring, right when you see those little pointy shoots, gardeners call them noses, just poking up out of the ground. The leaves haven't unfurled yet, so you won't damage them. Autumn is also a pretty good option. Just make sure you give the roots about a month to get settled before winter hits. Now, the one time to absolutely avoid, the middle of a hot summer. It's just way too stressful for the plant.
And you don't need any fancy equipment for this, I promise. A good sturdy shovel, a sharp knife, even an old serrated one from the kitchen works great, a tarp if you want to make cleanup easier, and water. That's it. You are officially ready for surgery.
Okay, here we go. It's time for the main event. I'm gonna walk you through 4 simple steps. And remember, do not be afraid. Hostas are incredibly tough. This might look a little brutal while you're doing it, but trust me, they will bounce right back, stronger than ever.
So here's the game plan. We're gonna dig the whole clump out of the ground. Then we'll divide up that root ball. After that, we find new homes for our little sections, and finally, we give them a good, deep drink of water. It really is that straightforward.
Okay, step 1. Here's a pro tip for you. Water the plant really well the day before. It just makes the soil so much easier to work with. Then, when you're ready, take your shovel and dig a nice, wide circle all the way around the plant. Give it plenty of room, and then use that shovel as leverage to pry the entire clump right out of the ground.
And please, I am not kidding about this. Take this warning seriously. A mature hosta root ball can be shockingly heavy and dense. Do not use your back to lift it. Bend your knees and lift with your legs.
So now for the actual division. If you get lucky and the clump is kind of loose, you might be able to just wiggle your fingers in there and tease it apart by hand. But honestly, most mature hostas are way too dense for that. So you'll use what I call the slice method. You just take your sharp shovel or your knife and cut straight down through the center. Seriously, just like you're slicing a pie. Don't worry about cutting through some roots. They will absolutely regrow.
All right, time to find some new homes for all your new plants. Dig a hole about twice as wide as the root ball. Now, here's the most crucial tip of the whole process. Make sure the crown, that's the spot where the stems meet the roots, is perfectly level with the soil's surface. You don't want to bury it too deep, and you definitely don't want to leave the roots exposed.
And finally, we've come to the most important step of all, water. Think about it. Your new divisions are in a little bit of shock. They've just been pulled out of the ground and had a major operation. They need a deep, immediate drink of water. And you're going to want to keep them nice and watered for the next few weeks while they get settled in.
And that's it. You did it. Seriously, congratulations.
Now it's time to step back and enjoy the rewards of your work, which is the perfect illustration of our garden math in action.
I mean, think about it. Just a little while ago, you started with one single overgrown plant that was maybe becoming a bit of a garden bully.
And now, look what you've got. Multiple perfectly sized healthy patches of that shade-loving beauty to spread all around your yard. Or, even better, to give away to friends and neighbors.
Which kind of brings us to a final thought. You haven't just rejuvenated your plant and beautified your garden for free. You've also created an opportunity to share that beauty. So the only real question left is, who are you going to share your garden with first?